Hey, what's up, you guys? Bringing another action figure review to you, and I'm really excited about this one, guys. This is the Marvel Legends, Marvel Comics, animated series Spider-Man, retro series, Daredevil, and Hydro Man 2-pack. So I am super excited for this. I'm really excited about this one, guys. Yes, so I'm really super excited about this. This is a 2-pack that I initially was not going to get, and the reason for that was because, well, as you can see, I've displayed all of these Daredevils in my collection, and these are the 3 Daredevils that I have, not including my custom Matt Murdock over there. But these are the 3 Daredevils that I have, and the original yellow Daredevil that you see back there was my first Marvel Legends Daredevil. So I wanted that because it came with an alternate Matt Murdock head, but a lot of people made me realize that that wasn't really a Matt Murdock head because it was just a obvious repaint of the Hawkeye head. So that's what that yellow Daredevil back there came with. But that yellow Daredevil back there was still cool, and I still wanted him, so I got him. So he was my first. Then this Daredevil right here, the black and red one right here, was my second Daredevil. And I love this Daredevil very much because I read that comic book. That was when Daredevil basically, I don't want to say he went back to basics. He was trying something new. And it's a long story, but back in the, I forgot the writer who wrote it, but the world found out Daredevil's identity, and short version is his life was lived in hell, of course, by the Kingpin, all of his enemies. He left New York, went to San Francisco, and then that didn't work out because he could no longer be a lawyer. So then Kilgrave's children, the Purple Man, if y'all don't know who that is, you can Google him. His children made the whole world forget because they had the same powers as their father, which is Kilgrave, the Purple Man. They have these kind of like, I don't want to say magic pheromones, but their pheromones are very potent. It's very powerful, like their father. So they made the whole world forget that Matt Murdock was Daredevil. So he moved back to New York. He went back to basics. Nobody remembered who he was, and he wore this black and red suit right here, which I loved it. When I first saw it in the comic books, I was like, that costume is hot. Like originally, I liked the original Daredevil, in his red outfit. But something about that outfit, it was just so dope. So then eventually Marvel Legends made a figure of it, and I was like, yep, I'm getting it. And sure enough, I did. I got it. Then this Daredevil came out, the Armored Daredevil. And this Daredevil, is based on the classic comic books where it was a weird run. He had a run-in with Mephisto, which is basically Marvel's version of the devil and hell and all that. So, then, that's when he encountered Typhoid Mary, which I'm about to get into her in a second. Well, and a little bit later. It was a very weird run. I didn't finish reading all of it, but I read most of it. Maybe I'll go back and finish reading it. But this is the best Daredevil, or at least is it? It was. I'm about to crack open the retro and see if it dethrones this Daredevil. I thought nothing was going to dethrone this Daredevil. I was like, yep. I was like, he's my permanent Daredevil. That's it. I'm done. That's it. Game over. And then this retro comes out. So 3 minutes and 53 seconds of rambling. So I am going to move all these Daredevils out the way, do comparisons later, including Matt Murdock, of course, and a few other surprises. So let's stay tuned. 4 minutes now, after 4 minutes. So let me just get to it. Crack these figures out of the box. Whoa, wait. I'm going to get a good look at the box first. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to get a good look at the box, and we are going to see what entails inside the retro series Daredevil and Hydro Man 2-pack. So let's do it. Let's move these Daredevils out the way because there's a new sheriff in town, I believe. First impressions as soon as we look at the box. And all right, as we get a good look at the box, so we see, let me move it a little closer. So we see Daredevil, we see Hydro Man, you see Spider-Man animated series, Marvel Comics. You see Daredevil, Hydro Man. Once again, let's see. So I'll try to move my camera around. So We get Spider-Man animated series on the side, Marvel Comics. We get Daredevil. This Daredevil is based off Spider-Man animated series. That's what Marvel Legends is going for. Even though people are saying that this Daredevil is from the Fantastic Four cartoon, I never watched that cartoon. I did see images of it, people showing on YouTube. But I'm just going to say this is the Daredevil from Spider-Man animated series. Because this is what the logo they went with. They didn't go with Fantastic Four. They went with Spider-Man. So this is Daredevil from the Spider-Man animated series. And also Hydro Man. So, wait, hold on one sec. All right, so we get a close-up image at Matt and Hydro Man, which is awesome. And you get Daredevil versus Hydro Man, Hasbro. Warning, choking hazard, small parts for children. All the legalities at the bottom. The language, I don't know. I'm gonna look at the side one more time. Marvel Comics, Spider-Man. You see all the little Spider-Man anime series building. Yeah, so people saying that this is the Daredevil from Fantastic Four. Just stop it. Just stop it. Because Hasbro is marketing this from Spider-Man animated series. And if you look at Spider-Man animated series, Daredevil did look like this. Now, if he looked like it more in Fantastic Four cartoon, I guess that's debatable. But I'm going to say he looks like this in Spider-Man animated series. And I watched Spider-Man animated series countless times, so if anybody should know, I should know. So we're gonna get a little close up there. Daredevil, Hydro Man, more Spider-Man animated series, of course. Daredevil versus Hydro Man. I'm taking too long. Numbers, barcode, whatever. Okay, so that's the back. This is pretty cool. I'm not going to front. This is actually pretty cool. So you got the 1-2 with the spider logo, figure 1 and figure 2. Daredevil is figure 1. Hydro Man is figure 2. That is actually pretty cool. And you will see, actually, I have to bring it back. Actually, I'll just do it from the side. Probably a little more easier. So you got Marvel Legends there. I'm going to flip it back over. But yeah, figure 1 and 2. Daredevil is 1. Hydro Man is figure number 2. You see the Marvel Legends. So anyway, yeah, so you see the Marvel Legends there. Marvel Legends there for both Daredevil and Hydro Man. I'm really excited for this figure. The Hydro Man, not so much. But I have heard good things about him. But the Daredevil is what I'm excited for. So, since I'm excited, since I want to crack this sucker open, that is what we're going to do. So finally, 8 minutes in. Sorry for rambling, guys. I'm tired, so forgive me. But now we are going to get into this figure. Finally, well, figures, excuse me. It's a 2-pack. So let's do it. Daredevil, Hydro Man, Retro Series, Spider-Man Animated Series. Let's do it. Alrighty, here we go. So I got them out of packaging. I was concerned at first because one of Daredevil's accessories I couldn't find, but it was packed in with Hydro Man. I'll explain that in a sec. But Daredevil looks awesome. He looks awesome. I'm just not used to Daredevil being this skinny, I guess, because I've been looking at the other versions of him, and they look a little more thicker than he does. I'll get into that in a second. But both of these figures look really good. Now I see what people are saying about the Hydro Man. I was hating on it at first. I really didn't want the Hydro Man, to really be honest. But then I changed my mind. Because I was going to try to just buy Daredevil by himself, like off eBay or something. But people were selling him for like $60 by himself because they know that people really want him. And I was like, screw that. I was like, I'm going to freaking buy the freaking 2-pack on Hasbro Pulse. If I'm going to pay $60, I'm going to pay $60 for 2 figures, which is what I wound up paying. You know, I wound up paying $62 and change after tax and shipping. I mean, when you buy it from Hasbro Pulse, it says $49.99, but it's with shipping and tax, which came up to $62 and change. But I'd rather do that than to just pay $50 or $60 from eBay for one Daredevil figure. As much as I love this figure, I was not willing to do that. So let's get into the figures. So I want to gush about Daredevil like a mother, but I'm going to hold myself because there's so much I love about Daredevil. But I'm going to get into Hydro Man first. So first off, the head sculpt is really good. Hydro Man is Maury Bench. He's a character from the comics, of course, and Spider-Man anime series, which he's more commonly known for. He was in this form when Mary Jane was whooping his ass and Spider-Man made fun of him. And like he was liquefying, and he turned into this version because Mary Jane lured him away from his source, which is water. If you lure Hydro Man away from water, that's his weakness. So the translucent stuff that's going on here is really done very well. It's done very well. It's pretty exceptional what they did with the translucent pieces in here. Like his hair, for example. That is really good. Look at that. Look at his hair. That's really excellent. That's excellent work. I really appreciate that. That's really, really, really good. So all the translucent in his hair, his face sculpt, you can see his ears. That's nice. You see that little weird sinister grin he has on his face. I really do like that. I like the sculpt of this figure. I don't have the other Hydro Man, the one that came with the watery arms that they did not include alternate arms with, which is the reason I never picked it up. I wanted to get it because I wanted Hydro Man, but I feel like Marvel Legends dropped the ball on both of these Hydro Mans, and I'll explain why. But let me finish this. So his teeth look really good. Usually I don't like action figures that make a stupid dumb grin or a smile showing their teeth, or or grinding or gritting their teeth. I don't like when companies do that with action figures unless they do it really well. I think they did it really good with him though. And I like the crazy expression on his face because in Spider-Man the animated series he was crazy. So you got all the nice little whites going through here, all the nice detail, all the nice translucent paint is done really excellently. It's really exceptional. I watching other reviews on YouTube, you don't really appreciate it until you get it in hand. So this body has pins, but nobody really cares because it's translucent. So Marvel Legends knew that they can get away with it. So he has pins. You see his ab crunch there. Ooh, my ab crunch is really tight. I probably have to take a hair dryer. Oh no, I don't take a hair dryer to it. I cracked it. There's the ab crunch. Okay, so we'll get into articulation in a little bit. So you see his boots there. You see his pants. I don't have a problem with this Hydro Man. I just want a basic, classic Hydro Man, whether it's from Spider-Man animated series or the comic book. I want a basic. I mean, I don't want to say basic, but I want them to do better than what they did with Hydro Man. You know what I mean? So that's Hydro Man himself. Let me see if I can get him to stand because he's about to fall. I'm trying to get this brother to stand. Stand up, brother. All right, there you go. And he's still going to fall. Doggone it. You're wasting up my minutes, Maury Bench. You're wasting up my minutes. So, accessories. So, Hydro Man comes with these two water effects, these two water accessories. He came with this with the other Hydro Man, but like people on YouTube noted, that they added the whites with the blues, and it looks really good. It's a little bit of transparency going on there, which is really cool. It's really nice. So I will put those on in a little bit. He also comes with two alternate hands. He already comes out of the box with the open hand and fisted hand, so he comes with another open hand and another fisted hand as well, as you can see. Really, really, really cool. Really cool. No problem with that. And I will get into Daredevil's accessories as well. So, Daredevil, Matt Murdock comes with this other alternate head. Looks fantastic. Look at that cell shading and perfect stoic face. This is what I'm saying with action figures. This is what I'm telling Marvel Legends. You can see his ear sticking out through the mask. I love that. And I love how well the cell shading is done right here. They probably could have filled this little hole in right there, but I guess they did that purposely so it could show through, the cell shading can show through with his red, because it's the reds and the black mixed together, which I love that. They also did it with his eyes, which is excellent, which is outstanding. I love that. I just love this head sculpt. It's really excellent. And also he comes with his 2 batons, of course. And I thought I couldn't find this. I thought it was lost, but it is here. His rope that you add to his batons. And it was packed in with Hydro Man. Why it wasn't packed in with Daredevil, I don't know. So he also comes with 2 fisted hands as well. He comes with 2 fisted hands, as you can see. There we go. Excellent. There we go. And he comes with 2 open hands as well. And you cannot see the fingertips through it, which I appreciate that. Shout out to the YouTuber that noticed that as well. Because if you see his fingernails and fingertips through the gloves, that just automatically takes you out of it. And so as you can see, those are the little water effects that goes on his feet. You can also put it on Daredevil's feet, like to make it look like he's, you know, trapping him within his water. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Mr. Maury Bench Hydro Man. Now we're going to get into the real star of this show, Daredevil. The reason me, myself, and a lot of other people included bought this figure. We brought the figure for Daredevil. I don't know why his belt's floating up like that. I'm trying to pull it down. I guess pulling it down like that, I guess it looks weird. I'm trying to find a weird medium somehow. I don't know. It just looks weird no matter what. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm bugging. But anyway, so let's get into Daredevil. So this head sculpt is excellent. Usually, like I said, once again, I don't like gritting open teeth with action figures, but if it's done correctly, I will make an exception. And for this, I would definitely make an exception. That gritting, I'm going to use this a lot for like when I'm posing him around, like in action poses and stuff. This is just picture perfect right here. This is comic book Daredevil. Like if he's fighting or if he's swinging around the city and doing his acrobatic stuff, this is perfect. This is wonderful. So yes, that's the head sculpt. So let's get into all this shell shading. Excuse me. So all this shell shading is done really brilliantly. A lot of people complaining that it's not on the gloves. And thank God my figure is not messed up. Thank God my figure has the shell shading all throughout where he's supposed to. His legs, his knees, his arms, and most importantly, his chest area where the DD sign is. And that's where it pops the most. I love that. It pops so hard, and I love it. He also has the shell shading going all throughout his abs, which is excellent. A little bit of shell shading there, which is outstanding. He even got shell shading on his freaking leg brace thing that holds his doggone batons. And speaking of his batons being held, I did miss this because I was using my armored Daredevil, and I did miss putting the batons in his pouch here, because that's what Daredevil does in the comic books. That is what he does. He puts his batons right in there. Bam! Love that. And you still got more shell shading going through the pouch of his batons. Well, here, this side, but they didn't do it on this side. That's a little disappointing. I guess they were trying to scrimp where they could. More shell shading here, here, here. Some people got pissed that there was none on his butt. That's fine, I guess. I guess if you want to lift the belt or lower it, yeah, you can. Well, I can lower it. Lower the belt. See a little bit of shell shading there as well. Yeah, which is really cool. More shell shading in the back, through his back, shoulders, and neck. Little wrinkle there in his mask. It's just so good. It's so freaking good. I'm just gushing about this. I can't help it. I love Daredevil. Daredevil is definitely my top favorite. Well, I mean, he's not my top favorite character, but he is in my top 10 of favorite superheroes of all time. No doubt about it. As a matter of fact, he's in my top. Is he in my top 5? maybe top 6. But yeah, none in the gloves, like I said before, and none on his boots. I felt they should have added a little to his boots. I mean, the gloves, yeah, and they could have added a little bit to his gloves. Not a lot, but a little bit at least. Or like some around like the knuckles area or like up here. And yeah, and also he has foot articulation. So now Marvel Legends is biting off of McFarlane. Also, the shape of the abdomen, Marvel Legends is copying McFarlane also. So this figure, this Daredevil is so far so good, man. Definitely. Yes, so here is the other head, the other neutral head. Excellent. We're going to take a close look at it again. God, that just looks so good. This shell shading, everything. Do I have a little thing right there? Little miscue there. It's small, it's tiny, but I think it is a little bit right there. I'm trying to get a close up on it, but yeah, I think I got a little tiny QC issue right there. That kind of annoys me. I did not want any QC issues with this at all with my figure. I wanted it to be flawless, but as we all know, action figures are not made that way. They are made by human beings, and they cannot be flawless. So anyways, moving right along, I will get ready to get into some characters that Daredevil's matched up with besides Maury Bench, Hydro Man. So, like I did before in the beginning of the video, now with Retro Daredevil out of the packaging, now we can compare all 3 Daredevils. I'm missing one. So yes, I was missing my favorite Daredevil. The retro one is still new to me, but I think aesthetically, it does beat the Armored Daredevil. The retro one does dethrone it. It does. There's just so much I love about that shell shading, and also I have a classic Daredevil now, even though it's based on Spider-Man animated series. But I do believe John Romita Sr. drew Daredevil like that with shell shading, and he just looks like a comic book brought to life. Now, so does this Armored Daredevil here, of course, and also this one as well. And even the yellow version. You know, they all look like they ripped out of comic books, but definitely, especially the retro one and the armored version. But yes, I do believe the armored version is dethroned because I just love this new retro shell shaded Daredevil. Absolutely. And just to get another closer look at these guys, yeah, just by me looking at them, yes, I am falling in love with this retro one. He is my new favorite Daredevil. I think he does dethrone my armored version that was my favorite one for so long. I think he is dethroned by the new retro shell shaded Daredevil. And just one more look at them side by side. Yeah. My new favorite, the retro shell shaded. And here we have him with the Marvel Netflix Elektra, and my custom Toy Biz Marvel Legends head, Bullseye. And how about a love triangle, Elektra and Typhoid Mary. And here we have Elektra Nachos with her mask off, and Daredevil with his mask off in Matt Murdock mode. The head sits a little high on the neck. Marvel Legends should have just whittled that down a little bit. As you can see, it's really, well, my camera don't want to pick it up, but there we go. Yeah, so it's like it's sitting high. I think the neck is a little too high. They should have drumbled some of that down, and I think it would have been much better. But you know, Marvel Legends being Marvel Legends, they do good, they do real good, and then they do bad. They do something stupid. So I guess that's what we gotta live with. And here we have Matt next to an unmasked Peter, so that is pretty cool. That's the Mezco Amazing Spider-Man with the retro Daredevil, and it looks awesome. Matt's taller than him, but this is a younger version of Peter, so that actually makes sense. And here are both heroes ready for action, Spidey and Daredevil. That looks freaking sweet. And there we have my custom Peter side by side with Matt, and their counterparts in the background, Spidey and Daredevil. Also nice. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Kingpin. That's right, Daredevil's mortal enemy, the Kingpin of crime. All right, so we're going to get started with Daredevil's articulation. So his head can look up about that much. That's okay. It could be better. Look down about that much. He does have pivoting attitude. He can go all the way around left and right. His arms go out about that much. Pretty good. You could do full 360 rotation. Upper bicep swivel. Doubly jointed elbows. Full wrist and hinge rotation. The arms are pinless. I know I always forget to mention this in my reviews, but most of the standard Marvel Legends now have pinless joints, and it is nice to see. I mean, I like it. I mean, is it a big deal that they have pins or not? In my opinion, no, especially if it's going to raise up the price. But it does look good with it being pinless. So, yes, he's pinless in his arms. You still can see the hinge in his wrist, like I said. And he also has pinless legs as well. So that's pretty cool. Now back to articulation. So you can pivot to the left and to the right. You also can get crazy upper ball peg movement. He can crunch back that far. He can crunch forward really far, which is really good. There's no lower waist twist. He can do the splits about that much. He can kick forward about that much. Is really good. That's excellent. He can kick back that much. He does have an upper swivel in this joint up here, which also is a drop down joint. So you can drop it down to get more articulation. Mine is a little tight though, but you can see that. See that? The hips drop down. This one is a little more tight over here, but this one drops down more. So it drops down. That's pretty cool. He does have an upper thigh cut in both areas. He has a bend in the knee. It's a single bend right there, but it might be double jointed over here. Yes, it is. It's not double jointed over here because of this, but it's double jointed. He does have doubly jointed knees. Like I said, thigh cut. He has a boot cut, boot rotation. His foot can hinge up that much. It can go down that much. He does have a toe hinge, like McFarlane now. And he does have ankle pivot. So that's the articulation for Daredevil. I'm gonna put him to the side right there a little bit. I really like that head sculpt. Here's Mr. Waterworks here. So let me take this off of him. Coming up on 30 minutes. I apologize, guys. I didn't plan for the video to be this long. But anyway, I'm going to try to hurry up and finish. So, pivoting to the left, to the right. And attitude. He can look up about that much. He can look down. Not really at all, which is strange. Now, this body is from what I have seen, is the Luke Cage body. So that's the body mode that they're using for this Hydro Man. Okay, so back to work. So arms can go out about that much. He can do full 360 rotation. Upper bicep swivel. There's pins in his arms, like I mentioned before, and there are pins in his. Wait, are there pins in his legs? Yes, but they're translucent enough. So upper bicep swivel, doubly jointed elbows, full wrist and hinge rotation, and he has a full ab crunch. Can crunch all the way back, all the way back. Let me move his arm so he can crunch back all the way back that much, crunch forward about that much, and he does have a full 360 waist twist. There's no pivoting and no upper ball peg, just that. And yes, like I said, the lower waist can twist all the way around. He does do the splits about that much. He can kick forward about that much. Oh, that's decent. He can kick back a little bit further. He does have a thigh cut swivel. He does have doubly jointed knees. Cool. And there's no boot rotation, but his foot could barely hinge up. I'm trying to get it to, but barely. Hinges down, no problem. And I don't know why my camera is fading out on me. See if I can fix that. Come on. Don't want to work with me. All right, whatever. Hinge up a little bit, hinge down a little bit. He does have ankle pivot. So, not bad articulation for Mr. Maury Bench, Hydro Man. Definitely not bad articulation for Daredevil either, because you want Daredevil to be acrobatic. I don't know how many dynamic poses people would want to get Hydro Man in. Me personally, that doesn't really matter. So let me give my final thoughts on this review. I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh, I think I will compare these two to one more villain. Yes, a Spider-Man villain, Dr. Otto Octavius. Not bad. That doesn't look bad, especially since Hydro Man is a Spider-Man villain, but now I guess he's a Daredevil villain, which I don't remember that happening in the comic books. Maybe I missed some. Yeah, so one more thing I wanted to mention before I get into my final thoughts is the rope accessories. So it's a little different, but it's still pretty much the same thing, because this little white wire isn't articulated. This came with the black and red Daredevil. I mean, it came with this one. This white and red one right here came with this Daredevil. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same concept. It's a little bit of a different style and design, and this black and red one is longer. That comes with the retro Daredevil. But, I mean, basically the same rule applies. This is more bendy. I mean, it's not a bendy wire. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, a swirly, bendy rope that he's swinging around on, basically. And this red and black one here, I guess it looks a little more dynamic, but I mean, my dog camera does not want to focus all of a sudden. It's just weird. And oh, now it wants to focus. Funny. Anyway, so yeah, this black and red wire, it's a bit of a different design, but like I said, it's the same concept. It's the same thing. So, just thought I would mention that before I wrap things up and do my final thoughts, which I'm about to do right now. Alright, so my final thoughts on this 2-pack. I will grade the figures individually. I'll start off with the highlight, which is Daredevil, of course, which is what anybody bought this 2-pack for, is for Daredevil. I'm thinking I'm going between an 8.5 or a 9. There are some gripes I have with it. The neck is too high. They just did it a little bit too high with the neck and the ball joint. I wish Marvel Legends would go back to the way they had it with their neck joints, where it just looks more better. Like, I'll bring this Daredevil in again for example. See how good that looks? It doesn't look too high. It's not sitting too high, and you can see the ball peg, the neck joint, and this was fine. This was working. You know how the old saying goes: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it just looks so natural. But with this Daredevil, he doesn't look, I mean, he still looks natural, but he could look better. I always prefer my figures, all of my action figures, actually, I always prefer them to have their neck sit a little lower. I'm also kind of disappointed with the rope. They should have made the rope into a bendy wire. That would have made posability a lot more fun. more dynamic. Would have been a lot more things that you can do if they would have done that. I mean, I'm not the greatest poser. I mean, y'all could just see how this little attempt I did here sucks. But yeah, I mean, they could have did better. They could have did better. They could have made it a bendy wire, and that would have been a lot of fun to have Daredevil's rope actually be a bendy wire. And also it looks like they're kind of biting the body molds now from McFarlane. I'm kind of see more Marvel Legends leaning towards doing copying what McFarlane is doing, and I don't like that. I feel like I'm going on a little bit of a rant, so please excuse me, guys. Just bear with me for a second. But Marvel Legends had their body molds, and McFarlane has his. And I feel like it should have just stayed that way because there was nothing wrong with Marvel Legends body molds. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can keep making updates, you know what I mean? Like, you can keep doing things like that. But, you know, keep it in the realm of what you were already doing. Because what you were doing was working. You just need to make little minor tweaks and improvements. Now they're adding toe articulation with their figures, which I feel really was never necessary. But I guess enough fans complained about it because McFarlane does it. So now Marvel Legends is doing that as well. Yeah, so I mean the gripes. They also could have added a little bit more shell shading. A little bit more would have went a long way. But for what they did add, I am thoroughly enjoying it. And yes, like I said before, this new retro Daredevil beats my Armored Daredevil. That's number one. That's top. So with those gripes, it's hard because I really, really like this figure. The more I look at him, the more I'm posing him around, I'm liking him more and more. I'll give him a 9 out of 10. I'm being generous. I was going to give him an 8.5 because of some of those gripes, but I'm giving him a 9 because Marvel Legends did so good with the shell shading. It looks really, really good. They did really excellent. So he gets a 9. Now, Hydro Man, for me, he gets a 7.5. I would have gave him an 8 if maybe they had like an alternate Maury Bench head, maybe like a human head with his flesh complexion. That would have been pretty cool. They could have added a lot more with his water accessories. But for what they did do, I think the translucent plastic really shines. It's really good. Like, it's really, really good. The translucent plastic is really excellent. Yeah, that's definitely the highlight of him. Also, the white streaks that's going through the translucent plastic is really awesome as well. And the water effects is cool. I don't have the previous Hydro Man, like I said, so this is my first official Hydro Man, and I'm pretty pleased with him. So I'll give him, you know, a good passable score of 7.5. It's not terrible. It's not exceptionally great, but it's not terrible. I was ready to, you know, hark all over this Hydro Man. So he gets a 7.5. So as a 2-pack, it sucks that you have to buy the 2-pack to get this Daredevil. I know a lot of people are upset by that. And this 2-pack was not sold out when I bought it off Hasbro Pulse. I waited about a month and a half before I picked it up, and there's still more in stock. Maybe it'll sell out eventually because the word of mouth is spreading on this Daredevil. But as a 2-pack, it gets to 8.5 because the Hydro Man kind of bogs it down a little bit, and it should be a single carded release for Daredevil. So that's my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think about this 2-pack figure and about Daredevil. Let me know how you feel about how I compared all 4 of my Daredevils. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Until next time, guys, see ya.